Welcome back to episode 2 of the Practically Answered podcast. I'm your host, Krystalin, and this podcast is where faith meets real life. Okay. This space is where we have real, honest, and authentic, uncut conversations. Okay. And we're going to talk about solutions to the challenges that we face. Okay. Today's episode is a big one. It's kind of near and dear to my heart, but it's a big one. Something so many of us are struggling with, but can barely or rarely talk about. Honestly, the topic of today is setting boundaries without feeling guilty. Ooh, let's get into it. Okay, so yes, setting boundaries without feeling guilty. This one is a big one. Okay, this one is a big one. I have um been trying to conquer this, master this for some years now. I think I think I got it. I think I got it. But I'm still a work in progress. I'm still a work in progress. I ain't gonna lie. So I'll be real with you. I used to be the queen of yes. The queen of yes. That's why I said, yeah, I'm still going through it. But yes, I can help. Yes, I can show up. Yes, I'll do it. Even when I was exhausted, even when my spirit was drained, I was Miss Yes. Okay. Oh my God, there's been so many situations where I went through that. I was yes to everything. Yes, let's go over here. Yes, let's do this. Hey, can you do this for me? Yes. Yes for everything, honey. Okay. But the truth is, I wasn't saying yes because I wanted to. Hear me now. I wasn't saying yes because I wanted to. I was saying yes because I didn't want to disappoint the people that was asking whatever it is from me, right? I didn't want to disappoint anybody. And deep down, I thought if I said no, people would think that I either didn't care about them, or maybe I thought I was all that, I wasn't a team player, or I just wasn't dependable, right? And I know some of you or many of you may have experienced the same thing. But yeah, I went through life always saying yes to my family, yes to my friends, yes in jobs. Oh my God. I'll be honest with y'all, there was a time I was working at this particular job, and even though I loved it, that was my favorite job. I'm not even gonna lie. But even though I loved it, I was Miss Yes for everything. They would call me the octopus. Like literally. Because I was doing everything. I was helping with finance. I was helping with special events. I was helping with maintenance. I was helping with everything. Okay. And every time I said yes, or what I realized in me saying yes, that I was abandoning myself. I was declining me. I was saying no to me. Like, Krystalin, you don't matter. That's why you're always saying yes. When you grow up in a household the way I grew up in, especially having a heavily religious background, a lot of times you're taught to just keep your head down. You know what I mean? That was my mom's motto: keep your head down. God is watching your response. And growing up, I resented that because I'm like, it's making me feel weak. It's making me not like me anymore. You know what I mean? And sometimes she was right. Sometimes you do have to, put your pride down and be a servant. You know what I mean? Be a servant leader. But sometimes, baby, they taking advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? And you have to learn how to set those boundaries and allow God to empower you in that no. Okay? So, one scripture that has shifted my mindset was Galatians 1 and 10. And the scripture says, am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. Woo! Yes, let's take a deep breath because that was a lot. Okay. Whew, Galatians 10, 1 and 10. I'm sorry. Galatians 1 and 10. I'm going to read it again. Okay. Am I now trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. That hit me hard, okay? Because boundaries are not about being selfish. Please, let's unlearn this. Let's stop teaching it. Let's stop making people feel bad. Boundaries are not about being selfish, y'all. Like, we have to really understand this. And I'm talking to myself too, because it's so hard to, especially when you have a big heart and you love hard, like you can really damage yourself mentally and emotionally because you feel as if, yo, if I put up these boundaries, I'm being selfish. People have literally told me that when I started to take myself a little bit more seriously. And it's not that I'm being selfish, it's just that I had to learn the capacity in which I could love authentically. I can show up authentically. If I cannot be Krystalin in every space, in every area that I am occupying, yo, I don't need to be here. You know what I'm saying? And it's no love lost. Like, I love you. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But that does not mean I have to subject myself to a certain environment or a person so that you can be okay. Like, I'm not, no, we are done with people pleasing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying walk around arrogant. I'm not saying be prideful, but at some point we have to learn that God did not put us on this earth to sacrifice our peace. You know what I mean? We are here to be fishers of men, right? We have to go out and get the people. But even Jesus had a moment where he was up on the mountain by himself. Okay. It was just him and God. Like, seriously. And we had and you got to remember, if we look at the scriptures, at first, Jesus had all these people with him. He had all these followers. And then when he started to really show his character and really talk about the things that was near and dear to his heart, only 12 stayed. 12 from thousands and millions of people. 12 were the and even in that 12, there was some, okay. So I want you to understand that even if for Jesus to have this mass following drop down to a small circle, it's okay to set them boundaries, baby. Just because you are a loving person and you have a big heart and, you know, you may be even getting along with somebody, that does not mean that y'all have to be best friends. Okay? Love people, love heart, be authentic. I'm not saying, like I said, I don't want you to walk around and think, have your nose in the air and think you all that. No. Be meek, be humble, be, you know, relax, okay? Don't do too much, okay? Not too much. But I want you to understand that even in that, we have to be careful how we interact with people, how we interact with different spaces. If you show up to a place and you're not welcome, or you show up to a place and you see that you're being taken advantage of, or you're giving more than you're receiving, you know what I mean? If you're always in a space of giving and you're being taken advantage of and people are mistreating you and you can't be authentically who you are, you know what I mean? Have discernment now, because sometimes, you know, you are in situations to learn. But if you are just in a space where every time you go around a certain person or you go around this place or in this environment and you feel drained and overwhelmed and overstimulated, baby, leave. Okay? You are a human being. You have a choice. Honey, free will. Okay. Seriously, all you got to do is leave. Okay, so I want to empower you. Setting those boundaries is not selfish. Okay, they're about being healthy. Healthy boundaries is what I'm trying to basically tell you. Boundaries honor God's temple. Okay, your body, your time, your energy. And when we learn to say no to others, you are actually saying yes to what He's called you to do. Okay. If you are, I'm taking something practical. If you are going for a job just because, everybody's saying this is something good and you feel like it's, you really not like called to that position or that career or whatever, don't go. Don't apply. Say no to the job offer. God always makes a way. If there's a party that you get invited to, or a gathering that you get invited to, and something don't feel right, stay home. Go somewhere else. You don't have to be in that particular situation. If you are around somebody and every time you come around that person, it's always toxic, they're always angry, they're always depressed. Honey, no. And no matter what you say or what you do, that's just them. And until God can help them and come to their aid, and they be willing to be open and allow God to heal them in whatever area that they're currently going through, deuces. For real. Like, and I want you guys to hear my heart, because I'm not saying this to be arrogant. I'm not saying this to be prideful. Listen, I love people. I love to love on people. But what I had to learn is every time I say yes to something and I was not authentically being who I am, and I'm just saying yes just to not get into an argument with you, or saying yes just not to have, like, I'm not doing that. I'm a grown woman. I'm going home. Okay? Oh, I'm going around people that's going to love me and that's going to be authentic. Now, when the circumstance change, and you never know, because life is like that. You can be, people are in your life for seasons. You know what I'm saying? Family included. I tell people all the time, family don't get no pass. Okay. Again, I'm not saying this to be mean, y'all, but I have, as you can tell, I'm actively going through this, but like, I had to come to grips, like, Chrissy, listen, Krystalin, it's okay. It's okay if that space does not, it's not serving you. You know what I'm saying? It's not, and especially if I've gone in that space multiple times, and every time I go over there, I got anxiety going in, and I'm freaking out or whatever. Now, of course, I do my due diligence. Now, I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna call down the heavens. I'm gonna ask God to be with me, because I know, like I said in the last episode, He will never leave you nor forsake you. But God gives us discernment when to entertain certain things. Like I said, even Jesus had to go up there on the mountain by himself. Okay? So so let's talk about some practical answers, okay? Yeah. So the first thing I want to whew, first of all, I'm sorry. Let's take a deep breath, because I know that was a lot. I know that was a lot. I'm not trying to throw a lot at you. That was a lot. I'm not gonna lie. So let's take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. All right. So let's talk about how to start setting boundaries without drowning in guilt. Okay. Here are 4 practical steps to do that. All right. Number 1, start small. So I'm gonna give y'all some real time stuff that I've gone through in my life. Um, my mom, God rest her soul, Lord have mercy. I love my mama, but there were times we would go to certain family members' houses, right? And my mom was the one that, no matter what's going on, she gonna love her family. She gonna be there. She was just that type of woman, right? And kudos to my mama. Okay, she was great. That was the gracing that God gave her. Okay. Now, there were times in those situations where it's either I didn't want to be there, or I give you something small, like they would be cooking something and to me it looked nasty or it stank. Okay. But even if my mama felt that way, she wasn't gonna say anything. She was gonna eat it, or she was gonna, she's gonna find some ways for you not to feel however, right? And for a long time, it would annoy me, because I'm like, if you don't like it, then say no. You know what I'm saying? Simple as no, thank you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to be whatever. I was legit like, no, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, but no, I appreciate it, but no. You know what I'm saying? Saying that's what I'm talking about. Saying no to little things. I gave you some small and practical, but yeah, saying no to little things. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you want to go with us after work to happy hour? And you know you're really tired. And you know if you really go, you gonna be like, oh my gosh. All I'm gonna do is sit there, drink some soda or mocktail or something, and then I'm gonna eat appetizers and I'm gonna be aggravated. I'm gonna be sleepy and tired, and I'm gonna get home late. Forget all that, okay? Forget all of that. All you have to do is say no. No, thank you. Okay? No, thank you. All right? So I'm giving you something, I'm giving you these stories so you can start to put into practice. I'm trying to change your mindset. Start small. Practice saying no to little things. Number 2, be clear but kind. Okay, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying be prideful. I'm not saying be snooty, think you all that, have your head in the air. No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying you don't have to over explain. Okay, be clear but kind. You don't have to over explain. A simple, I can't commit to it right now, but thank you for asking is enough. Okay, that's why I said, no, thank you. No, thank you. I appreciate it. You're great. You are loved. Okay, love you, but no. Okay, you don't want to do it, and it doesn't have to be that you don't want to be around the people. You love the people. You love the place, but you tired. You know what I'm saying? You want to go home. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices because, when you're putting in the work to develop certain relationships, you have to go the extra mile to put in that effort. But when it's just a simple little 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? You just got off work and you need to stop by a family member's house. Baby, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Okay. I'll hit you up on the weekend. You don't have to do it in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Somebody call you, hey, I need help with blah, 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 blah. Especially if it's a repetitive thing. Listen, love you, but not right now. You know what I'm saying? You have to create boundaries for yourself and not feel overwhelmed because you said no. I'm telling you, that no will empower you. Okay, number 3, replace guilt with truth. Okay? Every time guilt rises up, remind yourself, I'm not rejecting them. I'm protecting me. Ooh. Baby, I know that is deep. Okay. That when my kids say clock it. Yes, that is deep. Okay. You are not rejecting them. You are protecting yourself. That's why I said you may love the person. You may love the environment. You may love the community. You may love whatever it is. But if you are denying yourself in that moment, if you're tired or you see that, it's going to be something that you really don't want to be a part of, be like, nah, I'm straight. Love you, but we'll do this another time. You know what I'm saying? It's saying, like I said, say no to the small things. And number 4, accept resistance. Not everyone will like your boundaries. Like I told y'all, there were a lot of people that thought I was, oh, who she thinks she is. Krystalin, who God has called me to be. I'm Chrissy and will always be. You know what I'm saying? I had to realize that it ain't gonna lie. I'm coming off of people pleasing, but I had to learn. Not everybody gonna like my boundaries, but it's okay because it ain't for them. It's for me. Okay? That's okay. That's okay. I just want to kind of plug that in there. Accept resistance. Not everyone will like your boundaries, but that's okay. Their reaction doesn't mean your boundary is wrong. Ooh, it means it's working. Yes. Because you got to remember, they know you for always saying yes. I told y'all I was Miss Yes for everything. Yes, this, yes, that, yes, that. But now I'm like, maybe not this time. Next time, maybe. They don't like that. What you mean no? What you mean next time? What you mean no thank you? Who are you changing? Yeah, I am. And it's okay. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said there's gonna be times where you have to sacrifice, you know what I'm saying, your whatever to be able to, especially if God is calling you to do it. There's been plenty of times I'm like, Lord, I ain't gonna lie, I'm tired. I want to go home. But God has kind of commissioned me to go in that moment. I know that there's something that He wants me to do. So I was like, suck it up. just go. You know what I'm saying? And every time it was like that, there was something that was a mission or assignment for me to do for that person. Maybe that person was sad and depressed, or maybe that person, excuse me, was in need or whatever. And by me being obedient and showing up, I was an answer to their prayer. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, there's going to be times where you have to sacrifice, or if it's a relational thing, you know what I'm saying? Your friend is like, hey, I miss you. I haven't seen you, da 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 da. Take your behind. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to say no every time, because I'm not giving you a pass to say no every time. That's not what I'm saying. But what I want you to understand is, if the environment or the person is always putting you in position where you're being taken advantage of, or it's toxic, or you just leave you drained, no, we not doing it. I'm not going. No, 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 no. I'm telling you, that no gonna empower you. Okay, have discernment, but set those boundaries. So remember what I said. You are not rejecting them, you're protecting yourself. And even though their reaction is whatever, it does not mean that your boundary is wrong. It means that it's working. Okay. So as always, I did this in the first episode, so I'm going to do it again. And this will be an ongoing thing. I want to hear from you. Okay. So I want to hear from you. Scan this QR code. All right. Scan this QR code, and I want to hear from you. Where in your life do you struggle the most with setting boundaries? Okay. Is it with your family, friends, at work? It can be any of those. Share your story with me through this QR code that I created, and it might show up in a future episode. I talked about this in the last episode. My goal is to create an episode that is strictly for my subscribers. There's going to be topics that I come up with, but I want to create a space where you get those answers that you are longing for. Like I said in the last episode, we are not just here. This podcast is not just here for me to just talk and sit here and be all pretty. Thank you. But no, I am here to empower you and give you the answers that you are longing for. I may not know everything. I may not have all the answers, but baby, trust and believe. I'm going to find it for you. Okay. So don't forget, if after you scan this QR code, if you don't want to do this, you can always find me on Instagram at the Practically Answered Podcast, so we can keep this conversation alive. So in closing, here is your takeaway. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They're gates that protect what God has given you. Come on. Okay. Come on. Say that again. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are gates that protect what God has given you. Okay. You are allowed to rest. Let's pause on that real quick. You are allowed to rest. Okay. You are allowed to say no, and you are allowed to choose peace without guilt. Okay. Thank you guys so much. I'm so glad you stayed this whole time. Thank you so much for watching this entire episode. We on episode 2, honey. We on episode 2 of the Practically Answered podcast. If this episode spoke to you, share it with a family member, friend, loved one who needs a gentle reminder that boundaries are biblical and beautiful. Okay, I'm telling you that no going power you, honey. Until next time, protect your peace, honor your yes, and let go of the guilt. I love you so much. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.